Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk a little bit more about Bluesky because the mainstream media seems to be turning on it even more. They're saying that they're having growing pains. They're saying that they've got bots on Bluesky.
Shocker.
Shocker. So it's basically turning into Twitter 2017. Just that's what they wanted, right? That's what they wanted. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna talk about Mark Hamill. Speaking of Bluesky, he left.
That's a lovely picture.
He left. He left Twitter/X for Bluesky. It didn't get much better for him over there, I guess. But yeah, he talks about why he basically lost his shiznit after the election, and I think he's too far gone.
Well, I love how he was being an insufferable weenie and before the election, and then as soon as he doesn't win, or the people he wants to win don't win, he like has a meltdown as like a complete tantrum child on there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna talk to you now. I'm muting you all because they're like, hey, Mark, because he was being a complete butt before. He was
right before the election. He was putting up. He put up a cartoon. I remember of like the Statue of Liberty flicking Trump off or whatever, and it's like no, he's like, oh yeah, tomorrow's
every
the
other day.
It was that was his personality. I would say he became more insufferable than George Takei.
He's like the poster child for TDS.
Pretty much, like this is his personality now, right? I mean, twisted and
evil.
Lost. So I think he's just lost. I think Mark is like, I mean, you want to talk about like an old man screaming, "Get off my lawn!" This is pretty much like, "Hey, Republicans, get off my lawn."
I just think it's funny because he was just being insufferable before it, and then like being a complete butt. Yeah. And then after Harris didn't win, he just like, "I'm not going to talk to any of you now." Yeah,
it's sad. I mean, I'm hoping he doesn't drag that. Well, I'd say he doesn't drag that to comic conventions, but we know he does because he's made comments at panels and stuff too. And I'm like, dude, you don't want to go to a comic convention in Arkansas and start blasting all the right.
Well, he already charges so much anyway.
Yeah, I've heard he's very expensive. Anyway, I still like the original trilogy.
But you can separate the art from the artist.
I have good memories of that. Let's just leave it at that. Weirdly enough, Hayden Christensen wound up being hella cool, and he's Darth Vader, and Luke
I do
Skywalker's
like him. Yes,
lost. So let's talk about all this anyway. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to clownfishminus.com. Check out our merch. I got lots of merch, and join the Plus Club, and get the Dismal T-shirt. People love the Dismal T-shirt. We've sold a lot of Dismal T-shirts. Not to be confused with that other castle, right? So we got
to be confused with the other castle. Anyway, continue.
Our heroes in another castle, Mark. Not Disney's. NBC News has Bluesky's growing pains. We got the AP. Bluesky has growing pains and bots.
And from different outlets, so it's like, it's interesting, they're in lockstep though, saying the same things once again.
Yeah. It is. We've got the AP, and I thought it was the same article. I thought that maybe
I think one was the Boston Globe was saying something similar too.
But it's interesting because the AP, because look, all these journalists, they want to go Bluesky because they want it to be Twitter 2017 again because they want that echo chamber.
Well, they feel like they have control.
They have control. They feel like they don't have control on X, which just announced a price hike, by the way. They're going up a couple bucks a month now, but. Yeah, they're talking about the growth. They're like, oh, it's tremendous growth. I'm like, actually, there was a whole bunch of people that left after the election and then just kind of flatlined because I think all the people that wanted to leave left. They said with growth comes growing pains. It's not just human users who've been flocking to Bluesky, but bots.
So wait, my next question is, if it went up, was it bots? Because they're like, it's suddenly going up all of a sudden.
That's a damn good question.
When Twitter was under the control of the same people, same types of people, the bots were rampant. Like, severely rampant. Like everybody would joke that they thought that 60% or more of Twitter was bots.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why when he paid that much, we immediately said, oh, he's overpaying because a lot of the accounts aren't real. And which you found out. So if their numbers are going up and they're saying they have a bot problem, are their numbers going up for real people or are the numbers going up because they're bots? Because either the Bluesky themselves or people, want to use it or they're trying to make it look bigger than it is. I'm not saying, I don't know. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying I have to ask.
I don't know. they said, yeah, it includes bots designed to create, this is laughable,
I know, it is funny.
to create partisan division or direct users to junk websites.
There's no partisan division, because if you have any opinion other than far left, they immediately, start dogpiling you, or, I think keep you quiet.
Skyrocketing user base now surpassing 25 million.
And how many of those are bots?
Actually, now it's down to 24.8, but okay. Is the biggest test yet for a relatively young platform that has branded itself as a social media alternative free of the problems plaguing its competitors.
No,
like
it's not free of the, it's not free of the problems.
That's
just it's not free of the problems. It's exact same problem, so bad so that they're so insufferable on the left that even people that are on the left leave because they can't take the purity tests and bullcrap.
Yeah, they said that according to SimilarWeb, Bluesky adds 7.6 million monthly active users in November, an increase of 295% since October.
Right, but they keep going on about November. Okay, what about now? Or that was a month ago. What about now?
Yeah, so this is interesting, though. This kind of goes along with the last Bluesky video we did where Inc. was actually saying this is not sustainable. They said they got this spike in attention. They've crossed the threshold where it is now worth it for people to flood the platform with spam. Mm-hmm. Says this is an assistant professor of computer science at Northeastern University, but they don't have the cash flow. They don't have the established team that a larger platform would, so they have to do it all very, very quickly. Actually, they're overwhelmed with moderation requests.
So bots and spam would be easy to get through.
Oh, very easy. It's easy on Facebook now. Facebook is like, it's ridiculous. I don't even know what's real on Facebook because it feels like it's a ghost town with a bunch of bots. They said to manage growth for its tiny staff, Bluesky started as an invitation-only space until it opened up to the public in February. That period gave the site time to build out moderation tools and attract new users, such as starter packs, and they're going to be doing that next. But they said compared to bigger players like Facebook or X, Bluesky has a quite different value system, says Claire Wardle, another professor at Cornell University. You seeing a pattern here?
Yeah.
They're only talking to academia. And she's an expert in misinformation. This includes giving users more control over their experience. Weirdly enough, I would say that X has actually become the best platform to combat misinformation because they have community notes and they can actually correct somebody, especially if it's a public figure, correct them in real time and say, no, actually, this isn't what happened. Here's a link to what actually happened.
Well, you have journalists like putting quotes up for other things, and they're getting dogpiled like they're wrong thinkers, and there's no way to correct that, even though they didn't say it. They just got the blame for it.
Yeah, so they're like, people have this idea it was going to be a different type of social network, but the truth is when you get lots of people in a place and there are eyeballs, that means it's in other people's best interest to use bots to create, information that aligns with their perspective.
So most of what's on Bluesky now? Because that's what happened.
That's
what happened. I've seen the posts on there, and there's a lot of misinformation over there. And honestly, no, I've got mine trained, to be fair, that mostly shows pictures of cute animals like bunnies and cats and foxes and art and stuff like that. So I'm not seeing all the political posts as much as if I would just not be logged in and just open a window, and then it's just like bleh, far left politics.
Okay, here we go. We're diving in here. Little data has emerged to help quantify the rise in impersonator accounts, artificial intelligence-fueled networks, and other potentially harmful content on Bluesky. But in recent weeks, users have begun reporting large numbers of apparent AI bots following them, posting plagiarized articles, or making seemingly automated divisive comments in replies.
Let me guess what it was. Guess what? Trump won?
I know, right?
Is that what the comment was? Because divisive,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the comments are. Oh, God, here we go again. Lion Cassens, a Bluesky user and doctoral candidate in the Netherlands, again, academia, found one such network by accident, a group of German language accounts with similar bios and AI-generated profile pics posting in replies to 3 German newspapers. I know some weird replies under a news post by the German newspapers at Die Zeit. He said in an email to the AP, I have a lot of trust in the moderation mechanism on Bluesky, especially compared to Twitter since the layoffs and due to Musk's more radical stance on the freedom of speech. I mean, there actually is some.
No, I would argue the opposite. I would argue the opposite. I have more trust in moderation mechanism on X because they actually have a moderation team that knows what they're doing. I mean, they make mistakes, but there's at least a team in place. I would also argue that they have done all kinds of things to try to alleviate some of the bot problem, where Bluesky doesn't have the resources to do the same. So that would be, you're supposed to be a doctoral student? This is common sense. You don't need a doctorate to be able to figure out that that's bullshit.
Blue Sky posted earlier this month it had quadrupled its moderation team to keep up with this growing user demand. Now, here's the thing. This is Clear Sky, and this shows you like who's the most blocked and who the top blockers are. This dude here, or dudette, or dude zero, I don't know. 584,000
that has
blocked
to,
accounts.
Okay, to block this many accounts, you cannot be doing anything all day except going around blocking accounts. Yeah. Or you're a bot.
I think it's hilarious, though, on some level that Brianna Wu is one of the most blocked people on Blue Sky. Brianna Wu actually, despite doing a couple videos agreeing with Brianna, has me blocked. And I don't know why. Because I've never interacted with them. I have no idea. But one of the most blocked accounts is Brianna Wu. Like, this is where we're at. Oh, my God. Blue Sky, whether they like it or not, they're being pulled into the real world. It needs to quickly prioritize threats and work to mitigate them if it hopes to continue to grow. And they're talking about the Russians using it now. Blue Sky is trying to not be all things to all people. So we're trying to keep everybody happy.
There's no way.
Keeping everybody happy is over. Social platforms are increasingly splintered along political lines. When they aren't, see Meta's platforms and companies behind them are actively working to de-emphasize political content and news. They want to be a left-wing echo chamber, just like Twitter 2017, but they're mad that they're getting bots now.
Well, that's what's going to happen, but then somehow they're getting bots, and they're raising the question of, is it moderated correctly and everything else, but followed by someone saying, oh, it's way better than X. No, it's really not. Because at least on X, you legitimately have the, free speech as opposed to Blue Sky. But like you said, their community nodes are on X. They have their own moderation team. They are lacking a Blue Sky by their own admission. They have been lacking. They just hired more people.
Yep.
So, and now they got a bot problem too.
They said when they briefly banned X in Brazil because there was a dispute with Musk and Brazilian government, they had a whole bunch of Stan accounts. Go over to Blue Sky. Like, good luck with that. Good luck with that. That led to an influx of copyright and complaints, leaving Blue Sky's slim moderation team to sift through which posts to keep and remove. While the ones that are like, hey, you don't like my whatever thing I'm a fan of, go kill yourself. That might be one of the first ones you want to remove. Scammers have followed the migration of social media users from X to Blue Sky. Sean Gallagher, principal threat researcher at the cybersecurity company Sophos, told NBC News over the past few weeks there has been a rapid increase in scam activities. Mm-hmm. Many are romance and pig butchering scammers who follow. What the hell is a pig butchering scam?
They're going to tell you.
Who follow the same playbook they use on other social media sites, posing as romantic prospects in the hopes of establishing a fake relationship with a victim they can later exploit for money. Pig butchering.
Apparently, they've been aggressive at shutting down fraudulent accounts. But they have a bot problem. So you're aggressive on fraudulent accounts. There's a big rise in scammers, which is going to happen. But then you're bragging about how many more subscribers you have. Well, again, how do we know how many of the subscribers are real now or how many of them are fake? They're scammers or bots or whatever.
Far-right X account libs of TikTok, which is known for targeting trans people.
Oh, they're going to get themselves in trouble
Blue Sky on Thursday. You have to prove that, actually, as far as I can tell, they criticize every stupid person on TikTok. Well, they have to move into the Blue Sky space, though, because we don't know if TikTok is going to be around in a couple of weeks. They said they've only seen a handful of instances of people posting CSAM.
Says Blue Sky.
Mm-hmm. Compared to the levels seen on other platforms.
But those numbers are increasing. And you just got done saying you have a bot problem. And, look, we went up 5 million subs all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I bet they're going to go up a whole bunch more, but it's not how many of them are real and how many are bots. Because everybody's finding out about it and they're running scams over there now.
Yeah, they said that they don't have any kind of verification for celebrities. They have fake Ellen DeGeneres, fake Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, so basically everything they had a problem with on Twitter, it's happening over on Blue Sky.
Shocker.
So, oh my God. So let's talk about Mark Hamill, who left X in a huff after the election, and I think he's just too far gone. I don't think there's any coming back from Mark Hamill, but this is coming from the X account Autism Capital. Mark Hamill completely off the deep end. I was devastated. I wanted to get rid of the Electoral College. It's remnants of slave days. I stopped reading responses to my tweets. I muted like a mofo.
Right.
I muted for 40 minutes. Who cares if I lose a role?
Because why? Because you kept talking shit, and then when it didn't go your way, people were coming back at you with the same stuff you were throwing at them, and then you muted because you couldn't handle it because you were dished out but can't take it type thing. You know?
Yeah. So here, let's listen to a little bit of this here real quick before we wrap up. But he's not gonna find. I don't think he's gonna find what he's looking for over there either. I think it's just like you're gone, Mark. You're gone.
He doesn't care if he loses roles. So
what roles?
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Like other than the Joker and Luke Skywalker, he hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean,
Skeletor.
Oh yeah, Skeletor. Yeah, does that count?
Battlebone or Skeletor?
Battlebone. Okay.
Response. Yes. You just can't. You can't. And someone said to me, my daughter would say, "Daddy, you shouldn't tweet politically so much because people get so angry."
Yeah.
And so I wrote a tweet that I said, the people complaining about my Trump tweets have to understand. I love my country and I feel it's my patriotic duty to oppose this sociopathic.
Okay. And Mark has to understand that people might have the opposite opinion because they love their country and they feel it's their patriotic duty to call out some of the BS that he was posting. I mean, potato there, Mark. Potato.
It's interesting because James Gunn, like I know a lot of people don't like his politics. A lot of people that listen to our channel don't like his politics or whatever. But he actually said that he's hoping the Superman movie will unite people. Now, hopefully, it unites people the right way, and it's not like, let's just make fun of Guy Gardner for.
Well, it is uniting them the right way in that regard because
everybody hates. Everyone's like, yeah, trailer looks all right, but Guy Gardner, God, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Well, I forget the other word, whatever it was. With every fiber of my being. And that's the way I've been. I thought, I do feel it's an obligation. And who cares about your career?
It's an obligation because it's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's my obligation to tell you all what to think. Because I'm an actor, and it's like, and I feel like, he's a psychopath, whatever he said. And I'm like, yes, but people feel the same way in reverse, too, dude.
So here's the thing. Here's the double standard, right? So Mark Hamill's allowed to say whatever he wants to say. He's actually encouraged to say whatever, he wants to say about politics. But then you get somebody like, Zach Levi or Gina Carano or, what I'm saying? They have very mild political opinions, and everybody's calling for them to be ousted from Hollywood. So, here's the thing. Like, people
That's true.
Can express themselves, and I believe people.
If you have the right quote unquote opinion.
Yeah, that's where I have the problem. Like, I don't give a shit what Mark Hamill thinks about politics. You do you, boo, whatever. And he's allowed to voice his opinions. But I think what makes me sad about it is politics has become his entire personality. He talks more about Trump than he does about Darth Vader these days, right? Yeah. And I think if you balance it, people can kind of look past like, okay, this is their political opinions. I don't agree with them, whatever, but they're still, you can tell that they're coming from a good place. They like the fans and whatever. I don't really get that vibe from Mark anymore. Mark's attitude to me comes across as either you agree with everything I say or fuck you. And I don't want you in my fandom.
It's my civil duty.
Right. And I'm like, that's not good because people are across the board. And here, even if you want to be very selfish for a minute, if you're trying to convert somebody, right? You're trying to convert somebody to your way of thinking. Attacking them right out of the gate doesn't work.
No.
Right? It really doesn't work. Like if you're trying to convince them that you're in the right, you need to find some common ground, and calling them Nazis and bigots and homophobes when they've shown no indication that they are. I mean, hell, calling a gay Jewish person a Nazi and a homophobe, which I've seen happen before online, by the way, it's not going to score you any points. I noticed that the left has laid off the Nazi talk lately. And because I'm kind of like, you guys are going to have to look in the mirror because some of you, I'm just saying at this point, some of you really taking the anti-Semitism a little too far. But like, that's what, and nobody's telling Mark, because I'm sure Mark has felt this way for years, decades, whatever. A lot of these celebrities have, but like Trump broke them, and then Elon taking their toy away, taking Twitter away, broke them. And we just never heard it. We never heard these people. You'd see them at conventions. They would give a funny story or whatever. Or they might make a joke about politics here and there, but wasn't like 24/7 politics.
Yeah.
And that's what's so sad. Like, he's more interested in that than he is, anything else he's doing.
because you have to appeal to the whole country, not just half the country or 45% or whatever the MAGA crowd is.
45%. They voted. They were the number.
Strike that, reverse it,
In
Mark.
the grander scheme of things, who cares if I lose a part in the movie because I hate the orange atrocity? I do, and I want people to
But you're
know.
losing your audience too, because there's a lot of people who like you on both sides, and you're becoming. There's a difference between saying this is my opinion, who I want to vote for, and then becoming insufferable and having TDS and constantly, and then even berating people who don't agree with you at cons.
Yeah.
Your audience is there to pay you, and then you're like, oh, I don't want your money, get out of here. You know what I mean? It's really stupid, and it's like your whole personality has become. That's the problem. Your whole personality. And like you said, it's a double standard and it's unfair. If you're allowed to say, if you don't, you're allowed to give your opinions all the time. People are allowed to give back to you.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
people listen to us, and I know people on both sides of the aisle don't agree with us on everything, and that's fine. Like, I don't give a shit. I mean, I got my opinions about things. You've got your opinions about that. We don't even agree on everything. Geeky and I don't agree on everything, but like, I don't really care. I mean, we kind of poke fun at like everything that's going on in pop culture, but the whole, like, I wish that these conversations didn't have to be had, because it never used to be like this.
No.
I know it's hard to remember.
People
like,
weren't this invested though. I mean, like you had people you voted for, but you weren't like, that wasn't your whole personality.
no. And,
It's insane.
and these celebrities, like, again, they would bring up politics here or there, or you would see it in the work, you'd see it in the script of a movie or whatever, character, whatever, but wasn't like in your face. And, oh, by the way, I literally hate you if you don't agree with what I agree with. Like that kind of stuff was kept on the down low. And they might have. I mean, a lot of these people, they might have hated you, but you didn't hear about it, because it was like you would hear from them. They would, do an interview in Starlog or something, or one of the comic book magazines or something, but you wouldn't have it, 24/7. I hate you. 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 Did I mention I hate you? Yes. The orange one bad. Orange one bad. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Just talk about Star Wars. Talk about comics. Talk about, talk about your dog. Carrie Fisher. She had a whole thing with her dog. I liked
Yeah.
that dog. Was it Gary Fisher?
Something like that.
Dog,
yeah.
I'm sure the dog's probably gone now. R.I.P. Gary. But like, she had a whole shtick with her dog, and it's like, I mean, yeah, she didn't like Trump, she didn't like Republicans, but she talked about the dog. She talked about her time on Star Wars. She talked about her stories doing drugs in Hollywood. I mean, there's lots of things you can talk about, but I think Mark doesn't have enough going on, so he just talks about Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, God, it's sad.
It is sad.
But that's all Blue Sky is right now. And I don't know where it's going to go. Like you said, you can curate it and you can kind of train it to be what you want it to be. But I think since more and more people are going over there with the mindset of Mark Hamill, that they're going over there because they're angry at Elon Musk, it's gonna turn those blue skies dark pretty damn quick. We're going to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.